Welcome to Gaia's Calling, where stories ignite your spirit and the earth whispers her secrets. I'm Brad Swift, a write-on-purpose author of eco-fiction and nonfiction, inviting you to become an eco-guardian. Together, let's explore the wonders of our world and take action to protect them. Listen closely. Gaia is calling. And today's call from Gaia is on the cusp of change, embracing the chaos and connection of our planet's transformation. Well, I know I've been a bit obsessed with caterpillars and butterflies lately, but here's one more story about them, and this one was written, a couple of months ago as part of this One Cause series. But also, before we get started in that, don't miss, there's two features being premiered today. One that's intended to encourage more connection and conversation within this community, and a second one especially designed for young ones being premiered today. So, let's get into it. Imagine a caterpillar. It spends its days munching leaves, living a life it's perfectly suited for, never questioning its place in the world. In fact, they develop voracious appetites. For example, a monarch caterpillar can eat 200 times its weight in milkweed leaves. Some species even gain 20% of their body weight in an hour. Then, one day something shifts. It stops eating. It forms a chrysalis and begins a transformation so radical that it emerges as a butterfly, a creature almost unrecognizable from what it once was. This process, metamorphosis, isn't just an extraordinary feat of nature, it's a powerful metaphor for the moments we face right now in our planet with our people and a generation. Right now, the world is in its chrysalis phase. The old ways of thinking, living, and being, they're breaking down. The stories we've relied on for centuries, stories of separation, domination, and consumption, are crumbling under the weight of their consequences. And that's messy, and it's uncomfortable, and it's absolutely necessary. A new story emerges. For centuries, we've lived by a story of separation. A story that says, I am me, and you are you, nature is out there, and we are here. What happens to the earth doesn't affect me. It's a story that has allowed us to clear forests, pollute rivers, and fill the skies with carbon without stopping to think about the consequences. But as the world shifts, another story is emerging, a story of interbeing. This concept of interbeing is eloquently discussed by Charles Eisenstein Bayer Agamaloff, and pardon me for butchering these names, and Eleanor Ladha in their trilogue, On the Cusp, a trilogue about the shifts, and their link about that in the on the Substack. They remind us that everything is connected. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, it all ties us to the earth and every other living being on it. For a long time, this idea might have seemed abstract, but now it's becoming tangible. We see it in the way pollution travels across oceans, in the way climate change affects ecosystems thousands of miles apart, and in the way a single tree can support an entire web of life. For young readers, think about the last time you planted a seed or recycled a bottle or simply paused to notice the birds outside your window. Whether you realized it or not, you were practicing interbeing. You were part of the story of connection. But here's the thing about stories. They don't just exist. They're created, told, and retold. And every single one of us has a role in playing and in shaping this new story. So embracing the chrysalis. The chrysalis phase of metamorphosis is a messy, mysterious process. Inside that cocoon, the caterpillar essentially dissolved into goo before reforming as a butterfly. It's a profound change, and frankly, it looks a bit chaotic. That sounds familiar? No, it does. Our world is experiencing its own chaos. The climate crisis, social inequities, political divides, it can all feel overwhelming. But what if, instead of fearing this mess, we embraced it as part of our transformation? What if we saw it as an opportunity to imagine new possibilities and let go of the old ones that no longer serve us? These three gentlemen who shared about this suggest that uncertainty isn't something to solve. It's something to explore. When we step into the unknown, we open the door to creativity and discovery. For young readers especially, this idea might hit home. Growing up is its own kind of chrysalis phase. You're figuring out who you are, what you believe, and how you want to show up in the world. And just like the caterpillar, you don't have to have it all figured out yet. The beauty of uncertainty is that it allows you to grow into someone you might never have imagined. So, crisis as catalyst. Here's the truth. The challenges we face are immense. The planet is warming. Species are disappearing. Ecosystems are unraveling. But here's another truth. Crises are often the birthplace of transformation. In nature, a forest fire can look like devastation. But in the ashes, seeds that have waited years for sunlight finally have the chance to grow. Similarly, the crises we face today can clear the way for new ideas, systems, and ways of living. It's not easy, but it's possible. In their trilogue, the three thinkers explore many moments of crisis, often ignite transformation. These moments create openings for rebuilding, not just to what was, but to something better. For example, during the pandemic, people around the world discovered just how interconnected we are. Communities rallied together to support one another, and cities saw cleaner air as cars sat idle. These glimpses of change remind us that even in the hardest times, there's potential for renewal. So what's your role in the transformation? Now here's the exciting part. You are part of this transformation. Whether you're 12 or 25 or a parent or a grandparent or a teacher or librarian, your actions matter. You don't have to do everything, but you can do something. And those somethings can add up. Maybe it's starting a compost bin in your backyard. And here's a picture of what our current one looks like. Maybe it's speaking up about climate action at school or organizing a community cleanup. Or maybe it's simply changing the way you think about your relationship with the earth. What do you imagine your transformation might look like? How about sharing it with our community here by leaving a comment below? And again, if you're listening to this as a podcast, I invite you to go to Substack and find this article and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. In fact, this is one of the new features. Every legitimate comment will automatically enter you to win an autographed copy of my latest eco-fiction, Rainforest Shaman, which is book 1 of the Eagle and the Condor series. That's how much I value hearing from you, and you deserve a reward for it. So leave a comment. The Eco Gardening team, Zach, Tess, Aya, and their companions, are navigating this transformation too. They're learning to challenge old narratives and create new ones, just like you. And the Greens family shows up how these ideas can play out in everyday life, from small decisions at home to big conversations about the future. Their stories remind us that no matter where you are or what your life looks like, you can be part of the journey. So are we a butterfly in the making? As we wrap up, let's return to our butterfly. It doesn't become something new overnight. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to change. But when it emerges, it carries the gift of transformation, not just for itself, but for the world it inhabits. Our world is on the cusp of something extraordinary. And you're part of that. The choices you make today, the stories you tell, and the actions you take all help shape the world we'll emerge into. This isn't just a story about challenges. It's a story about possibilities, about hope, and about the beauty of becoming something new. Yes, the chrysalis is messy, but oh, the butterfly it holds. So what will your role be in this transformation? Let's find out together. So our second new feature, introducing Eco Guardian Training Camp. I'm excited to share the second new feature that's been quietly growing behind the scenes, Eco Guardian Training Camp. This is a special section written just for our younger readers. These short entries are delivered by the members of the Zach Bates Eco Guardian team and are designed to bring the ideas of one cause to life in ways that are simple, soulful, and practical. Since these will be a part of the book, I thought, hey, why wait? Why not begin sharing them here with you, my Substack family, as they emerge? Today's post includes the first one, a moonlit fireside chat with Aya and Ampa on the power and mystery of transformation. I hope it speaks to your heart and maybe even the heart of a younger reader in your life. If so, please share it with them. Eco Guardian Training Camp with Aya, Ampa, Logan, Piper, and you. The moonlight flickers gently through the canopy as Aya, listener of the forest, sits cross-legged near the glowing coals of a jungle fire. Ampa, her father and a respected shaman, adds a pinch of dried leaf to the flames. It crackles, not loudly, but with the sound of something ancient remembering itself. Aya's voice softens as she speaks to Logan and Piper, who sit wide-eyed beneath the stars. But the words feel like they're meant for you too, like a secret passed along from heart to heart. There is a time in every transformation, she says, when nothing makes sense, when the old is falling away and the new has not yet arrived. It's easy to feel lost then. Ampa nods. The caterpillar does not become the butterfly in a day. Inside the chrysalis, it melts. It dissolves into something unrecognizable until slowly something new forms. Aya leans in closer. If you feel unsure or confused right now, then you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it right. The world is changing, and you are part of that change. So here's a practice for the path. Find a quiet moment this week, maybe before bed or after a walk, and draw your own chrysalis. In fact, there's an image here that you are happy to download yourself. Inside it, write or sketch how you're growing. What old habits or thoughts are melting away? What new ideas are starting to form? Ampa adds one last ember to the fire. The sparks rise like fireflies. Remember, my dear friends, he says, you are never alone in the chrysalis. We are transforming together. And a P.S. Please cross your fingers for me this week. I'll be submitting a massively comprehensive book proposal for One Cause to Barrick Kohler Publishers, which is an independent publisher whose mission is to connect people and ideas to create a world that works for all. So, more soon, and thank you as always for walking this path with me. This is Brad with Gratitude, eco-author, Logan and Piper's granddude, and co-creator of One Cause. Oh, and by the way, here's a picture of what we envision our new compost bin will look like. Updates coming. Take care. Oh, and one other thing. This newsletter, Unleashed, W. Bradford Swift, and the One Cause, is for those who know we're meant to live in deeper harmony with the earth and each other. If this vision resonates, please subscribe to Please subscribe to receive weekly reflections and bold possibilities for a shared future. And share this with others. Take care.